Alright, so here's some of the upgrades I've done on the 77 since everybody's last seen it. Over here you can see I added a light on a cord from a 88 to 98 C1500. I think they also came on the C2500, C3500 is an underhood option. Most of them have. These are great little lights to have. This cord will reach for an 8-foot long bed truck, so it works great on my Stepside. You know, if you ever break down, you just switch it on, you can crawl underneath and slide it everywhere. It also works pretty good as an underhood light. Over here you see a conduit box that you might find inside a house. In there I have a 6 fuse spade style fuse panel. All my wiring I ran up in there. It's all in conduit, all done correctly with a grommet inside. It's a pretty good way. I kept all my accessories are run on this, all my accessory lights, everything else, so that way I'm not tapping into the truck's existing wiring system to do any add-ons, which I think is pretty good, like the radio and everything's all done through here. That way you keep it simple and you don't cut up factory wiring. It just keeps the truck more reliable. I also added a clutch fan, as you can see right there. Kind of painted it up like a plane propeller or something, I don't know. But it does, I did that mainly because when I go through deep water, with the mechanical fan, when the water comes through the radiator, that level, your fan starts hitting it and you can break the fan. So a clutch fan, once it hits the water, it'll actually stop spinning. So that's why I added that. Inside, I now have auto meter gauges. I got those out of a plow truck that I scrapped out for free. They're pretty nice. My fuel gauge just stopped working again. I'm not sure why. And my temperature gauge now dances around, so I need to figure that out. But all the tack and everything else is hooked up. I also added this switch right here, which does the reverse lights, because right now I'm running a manual, was an automatic. And because of that, I didn't have the plug to plug directly into the stick, so I ran it on a toggle switch. Now what this is also good for is if you off-road at night, you can turn on your lights, your backup lights, and that helps illuminate what's behind you, as well as if you're hooking up a trailer or something at night, I can just flip it on the toggle switch. Once I do get the right connector so that when I put it in reverse on the transmission, the lights will automatically come on, I'll keep the toggle switch in line so that I can still override it and have them on. Now on an automatic, up in there at the base of the column, there's a couple wires going in. I forget exactly which set it is, but one of the sets does the reverse lights. So what I found is that I could use spade connectors on the 2 posts that come out of the switch and just wire directly into the switch without having to cut a single wire. And obviously whenever you can avoid cutting wires, it's a good thing. I'm planning on putting in a tilt column in this truck, so when I do that, you know, I may change it over to a standard column and then I could eliminate that system. But for right now, flip the switch. And it'll only come on with the key on, which is also good because then you can't leave your reverse lights on if you do leave the switch on. So as you can see, that light's on. And I also added this light under the bumper, or under the tail pan for the rear end of the bed, so that's protected, but also it gives me light for right on my trailer hitch area if I have to hook up a trailer. That's pretty much it. I gotta move the truck, so I might as well start it up for you. Hasn't been started in at least a week or two. So give it 2 pumps. There it goes. Sure to shut off this switch. Probably about 30, 35 today. So not super cold, but not exactly warm either. Oh, my oil PSI is pretty low. It's slowly coming up. Usually it idles on when it's cold at around maybe 40 pounds on the oil pressure, and then Once it's running, it'll probably drop to around 5, but I've heard that's fairly normal. The truck idles at around 500 RPMs because it's a stick. That's the factory setting, so it's just what we do. Again, it is cold, probably, like I said, 35 degrees Fahrenheit out, maybe a little colder, so that's why that's slow. As you can see, it's stone cold on the motor. Alternator is plugging away, and my fuel gauge is reading below E. So I need to figure out why it would do that. I know if it reads over full that your lead wire is shorted out, it's not connecting. So I'm guessing that this is a ground problem, or I have a stuck float. So I need to figure that out.